Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lesia and today I'm going to be doing a review of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. So let's get into it. Of course I'm going to want to discuss the finale of the book, so I'm going to warn you before I delve into the more spoilery stuff. A Court of Thorns and Roses is the first of Sarah J Maas's new trilogy, and the second book is going to come out in the spring of 2016, which is quite soon. And since I heard so much about the Throne of Glass series, I wanted to try out Sarah's writing style first. This book is a remake or a retelling of A Beauty and the Beast, and this is what attracted me to it so much. The book is set in a fantasy world where humans inhabit the land as well as fairies, and they're divided between two lands because they were some time ago quite at war with each other, and right now they have this treaty and they keep the peace, but the humans are very terrified of what fairies can do because fairies possess magic and magical powers that are very strong and very dangerous. So in this land, the main heroine, Fair, is living with her two sisters and her father in a cottage in a village, very close to starving in the middle of the winter, and Fair has to take on the huntress role and go on a hunt in the winter, and this is how she ends up killing a wolf. After killing the wolf to keep her family warm, she has to go away and pay for her crime. As punishment, she has to live for eternity in the land of the fairies. Fair is totally crucified by that. She hates the fairies, she wants nothing to do with them, and this is the setting for the story. I really loved the character development in the book. I really loved Fair as a heroine. She was very believable, she was flawed but nice to follow. The book is written from first perspective, so it's kind of nice also because her thought process is very nice. It's uncluttered, it's very joyous. And I love how her perspective shifts, of course, and I loved Tamlin's character development. Tamlin is the fairy who is keeping her hostage in a way. Taking care of her as well. From here I'm probably going to be delving into more details, so you'd better go and read the book if you haven't yet. The story has been progressing very well. I was sympathizing with the characters a lot, just until Feyre had to go away, and that point kind of broke the book in half for me a bit, because at the same time I was really glad that Feyre and Tamlin finally connected with each other, but then her departure was so swift and unexpected that I couldn't really wrap my head around it until everything else happened in the book. Basically, the finale in the book was very strong, and I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed the trials that Feyre underwent, and I immensely enjoyed Rhysand's character. He was amazing. It's not like he's a villain or anything, but in the same time he is totally annoyingly, handsomely cruel in a way, and I really like that aspect of him. But what I didn't like so much is that while I get very much and across the story it's clear that Feyre is immensely in love with Tamlin, just like the story dictates, in the finale when she was undergoing the trials and suffering immensely, I found Feyre being overly fixated on Tamlin and on her goal to think straight, and that was very annoying to me. For example, the scene when Tamlin and Feyre finally get to hold each other during the trials and Rhysand finds them kissing and undressing each other, I found that scene to be a bit tacky. I mean, imagine if you're in a courtroom full of fairies really wanting to see you dead, and you're being held prisoner and you have every reason to be concerned about staying alive before you can actually free Tamlin and everybody else. Would you be undressing Tamlin and would you be screwing him when there's so many other things to think about? So that aspect of it was very young adult to me. I couldn't wrap my head around it. And another thing is, the riddle was quite simple. I can't say I figured it at once, but I figured it out like maybe during second trial, and it was amazingly simple. I cannot imagine how Feyre wouldn't have figured it out during those sleepless nights in the dungeons. It just seems very illogical, I would say. And during her third trial, when she had to give up so much of herself to save Tamlin and to kill those other fairies, I thought that this was the moment of insight where she would actually get the answer to the riddle. But no, that didn't happen until later when she was lying dead and bleeding out, and that was very, very annoying to me. I mean, I just don't get why she couldn't have this insight before when the story dictated, and maybe it's just a plot device to make the character really, really suffering and really high-strung, aka Katniss in the second book of the Hunger Games. I haven't really read the Hunger Games, but I suspect that this is what it was like for Katniss, who was totally bent on the killings and was totally broken in most of the books. So I definitely hope it's not going to be like that. I also have my reservations against the second book, A Court of Mist and Fury, I think it's called, because I loved Rhysand's character very much, but the ending of the book is kind of making me very, very worried for a love triangle, which I totally don't like in books because I feel like it's often very, very uncalled for. So I would love to hear your opinion on this book if you've read it. If you haven't, I don't know why you're so far into the video, because it's really, really full of spoilers by this time. But please let me know down in the comments what did you think about the Court of Thorns and Roses, and who was your favorite character. I mean, besides Tamlin, who is awesome, gorgeous, and everything. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!